Here we're going to use the graph of the function to determine the domain, the range, find the x and the y intercepts, and a few of the different values on the function. So starting with the domain, again when we try to look for the domain of the function on its graph, we're going to be looking at the x-axis, and for the range we're going to be looking at the y-axis. So looking at the x-axis and where this thing starts, it's going to be over here at -6. Now since there's an open circle here on the graph, at the -6 we're going to be using a parenthesis to indicate that the -6 is not included because of that open circle. And then the graph continues to go off and to the right toward positive infinity. So for the domain we're going to put parenthesis, -6, comma, infinity, close parenthesis. Now for the y-axis we're going to look at the range, and we're going to look at how low and how high this thing is along the y-axis. It goes down to the lowest place, and that hits the y-axis down here at -3. And then it's going to go up and keep going off of the graph, because this side, notice how the arrow points off, and so it's going to keep going up like this. So the range goes lowest at -3 and then off toward positive infinity. Now we're going to use a bracket for -3 since the graph goes all the way down to that number, and we'll say bracket -3 comma infinity. And then the x-intercepts are where it crosses the x-axis, and there are two locations where this happens, at 0 and at 5 on the x-axis, and so those are the points 0, 0 and 5, 0. The y-intercept is also the point 0, 0. Then to find these two values here, f of -2 and f of 1, keep in mind that the numbers -2 and 1 are referring to x numbers, and the values we're going to have here for the function are going to be the y values. So if we look at the x-axis at -2 and look at the value of the function at -2, that's going to be up at 3. So f of -2 is equal to 3. If we look at the location of 1 on the x-axis and the value of the y, it would be at -3. So f of 1 is equal to -3.